A group calling itself Dudula, which organized Soweto communities against foreign nationals, non-compliant businesses and drug dealers, say they have had enough of illegal foreign spaza shop owners who are trading in their areas. Dudula has in some quarters been accused of being xenophobic, which the leaders of the group denied. And let's talk then to more on this to a Soweto entrepreneur and community leader, Nhlanhla Lux, who was also part of the group that was seen protecting Maponya Mall during last month's unrest in Gauteng. Nhlanhla, good evening and thank you so much for your time tonight. In the video that maybe the viewers would have seen circulating on social media, as you say then that, the foreign nationals are now not allowed to continue owning spaza shops. In fact, you say that now the rest of the spaza shop economy is left in the hands of the Sowetans. I would like to, before we go into what you said, let's talk about who are you speaking on behalf of, because you refer to quite a lot of us and the grouping in the video.
Yeah. So when we speak, we're speaking on behalf of Soweto Parliament, which is a youth voice that speaks on behalf of many youth in Soweto. Obviously, there will always be some youth that belong to political organizations that would always differ on points. But what's important for everyone to understand is that we are a non-political movement. The youth that is in leadership here in Soweto Parliament are people with independent thinking. And I think just to get straight to the point, you said that we are saying that there will be no more spazas opened by foreign nationals, and that is not accurate. What I was saying there was I was actually being the mouthpiece of an agreement that we had with foreign nationals in Soweto. What's important for people to understand is that the foreign nationals living amongst us in Soweto are organized, and they are organized through the efforts of Soweto Parliament, because we said to them, we can't have people undocumented, people, ghosts living amongst us. So for us to be able to protect you, regardless of what it is, because sometimes we are protecting you from being mugged, but who are you? And then you take a gun and you shoot this person. Then I was witnessing it, but what do I say to the police? The Pakistan guy did this. Pakistan is a country, it's not a person. So we needed to somewhat get to a level of accountability. And the only way to do that is to have infrastructure that makes sense. And the infrastructure that makes sense is that we needed to make sure that we formalize them, we group them so that leadership to leadership can have discussions. And that's exactly what we did. And from the discussions, the truth came out that we have to be transparent. And from their side, there are unfortunately issues and incidents where they fight for territory themselves.
And pardon me there. I'll get to that in just a moment. But you say in the video, I've listened to it, I've watched it. Yeah. You say that the rest of the spaza shops belong to the people of Soweto. You are not saying we are not then not being accurate here, because that's what you said. And I'd like to then know, who of these foreign-owned shop owners have you spoken to? How many of them were part of this conversation that you're talking about?
It's safe for me to say all of them. All of them, because I'm sure if Newsroom can come tomorrow, I can call a meeting of all the foreign nationals that are trading in spaza shops saying first thing in the morning. So their leadership, which is their executive, we spoke to them. They then agreed to say that we won't open any more shops in Soweto so that we can show our participation in this economy and show that we're not here for greed. The rest of what's left of the spaza shop economy can go to Sowetans, and we are here to help them wherever they need the help. They even committed to also doing certain things like making sure that they pay for university fees, because most of the time they're not compliant with SARS and whatever else. And part of our programs in discussion with them is to make sure that we form programs where they can start being in a position to participate in our economy by paying tax.
Now,
so these are the discussions we have with them.
All of this is good and well, but I'll take you back. When I covered the looting that happened in Soweto in the past couple of years, one of the challenges is that the people that you're fighting for, who you're saying must own spaza shops themselves, are in fact the ones that are renting out the spaza shops to the foreign nationals, who are then occupying and working from their backyard. Have you taken this into consideration? And what are you doing then to help some of those people, instead of pointing then towards those who are making use of an opportunity they are given.
Yeah, but we mustn't be naive here and only subject our people to crumbs. We are then saying to those who have the space to open a spaza shop or rent it out, we are saying, instead of renting out your space, open a spaza shop so that you can be properly empowered, not rely on cheddar rent. We need to honestly be on the ground and face these issues for what they are. So we've spoken to some of the people who wanted to rent out their space and say, actually be empowered enough to own one yourself. And the leadership of the foreign nationals are ready to help under our watch. We are also ready to help to ensure that you form part and parcel of the network that's existing at Ipaza so that you can advance in most parts in Sahara.
Now, let's talk about this video. Some have seen it as an incitement of xenophobia, including the South African Human Rights Commission, that says, and I quote from their statement, the commission is concerned that this video could constitute incitement to cause harm against non-national persons, their property and their businesses, especially in Soweto, which could in turn spill over to other communities. Are you willing to accept responsibility? Should foreign nationals be attacked at the back of your video? Are you willing to accept that?
You know what I'm willing to accept? I'm willing to accept us being very fair. Number one, Human Rights Commission, I must first commend them. Well done for picking up this video. It's good. And I actually applaud their programs. But one thing we should do, we mustn't be reactionary. We must always be part of task teams that are proactive. Human Rights Commission must be on the ground, especially in communities that have a large influx of foreign nationals. I'm ready to speak to the rest of Soweto Parliament and say, how's about we open a youth desk, Human Rights Commission, so that they can be on the ground in our planning, so that they don't pick up stompies.
But are you willing to accept responsibility? Should this video lead to what we then have seen as xenophobic incidents? We saw the unrest and we then saw instigators. Are you willing to be one of the people that accepts responsibility?
Unfortunately, what you are doing now is that you want this young man to say that yes, and then when you find people who like criminalizing very good programs, to say, he said he'll accept, let's go loot, and then he'll go to jail. Let's not do that. Let's be open-minded.
But Nhlanhla, are you then understanding as to how people could misconstrue the message you're sending?
Look, I take responsibility. What the responsibility I'll take now is that maybe if I'm given an opportunity to actually clarify what it is, yes, I will. And then furthermore, if anyone wants to act from my clarification, let me take the responsibility. But I'm not going to be shoved in a corner to say, if certain groups of people loot or do whatever, do I take responsibility? How can I? If I'm at the center of protecting the businesses, local businesses, including the spaza shops, if you actually interview, which I can give you, the president of or the head of the foreign nationals in Soweto and ask him about our efforts as young people to make sure that they don't go through criminality. Maybe that's important for other people to understand too. So that we're not shoved in a corner to take responsibility of things we don't know. And because our utterance and rhetoric remains the same. It's consistent, it doesn't change. We are saying that we are in constant communication with the foreign nationals, which is something the country has never seen. Which part of South Africa has ever had a conference with all its foreign nationals in a certain space?
When was this
Only
conference?
us young people in Soweto. Only us people in Soweto, young people in Soweto, were able to achieve that. And
when was this conference? And where was it held?
So the conference, Neliko Kochablani. I can give you details. I can give you minutes. I'm not just smoking out of my socks. I can give you people, forget documents, that can tell you and allude and attest to what I'm saying, both South African and foreign. So maybe we must do that to open the conversation.
So can I ask you then, should you not have, because the video you posted, Nhlanhla, as much as you say you're trying to clarify, you don't want to be put in the corner and all of that, in hindsight, should you not have had made that video with the leaders of the foreign nationals that you're talking about in order to clarify before you make, because some of the statements you're making there could be seen as inflammatory. Could you not make a video with them so that people understand that you're together?
I'm happy that you are fair. You know why I'm saying you are fair? Because immediately after, I posted another video with the head of the foreign nationals in it. But again, because of human nature, we focus on a video that has loopholes so that we can take advantage. But I'm not saying that's what you are doing. I'm just saying that's human nature. So maybe if you can give the people at home that are listening and watching an opportunity to see the other video, which is the latest video around the spaza shops, he is speaking himself. He is telling you from the meeting what happened and what's the expectation from
But could you
us
not
as South
have him in that
Africans.
video? Because the video you've got alone, Nhlanhla, even talks about how you're going to make sure that some of them don't exist. You need to make sure that others are going to be seen as an enemy and all of that.
Look,
now, when you say those things alone, where you say that others could be seen as an enemy, you will make sure that there's this and that. Doesn't that then land itself into the territory of being misconstrued? Could you not do it in that video with him?
Yeah, so fair enough. I mean, it's easy for someone to watch the football game and say, why couldn't this guy have passed or scored or passed that way? We are now here on the ground doing what we're doing as young people. If there's anything that does not make sense to maybe the elders or maybe the journalists, we say then come. It's work in progress. Let's work together because we are not the alpha and omega of anything. We are saying we're young people trying to see a better future for our communities. And we're not doing it as an island. We're doing it in partnership with everyone that's involved, every other stakeholder. So then what I'm saying to you is I did do as per your recommendation already. I posted a video with myself and the president of the Foreign Nationals speaking because I did that understanding that that video could have possibly other loopholes that people who are not open-minded would take advantage of.
And the Human Rights Commission is talking about, law enforcement agencies who are supposed to move in and act decisively when it comes to people such as yourselves who are posting such videos, and they say that you're continuing to paint a bad name, and I'm quoting from them, for South Africa and make it look like the country is intolerant of diversity. What do you say to that?
One thing that's important that everyone must be held accountable, including myself. I'm actually a very firm believer of accountability. So if wherever they think that perhaps myself or the movement has done something that needs accountability, yes, send law enforcement to come. Because in South Africa, we've got laws that we have faith in. Then the laws, I'll have an opportunity to prove myself in a court of law to say this is what we meant. And guess who my witness stand will be? The foreign nationals. To say that, no, you've got the wrong guy here.
Tell me, what then becomes the role of the departments? Because I'll tell you what, you talk about them, not adhering to some of the country's laws. Whose fault is that? Because you've got departments that need to make sure that they adhere to, certain rules and regulations, small businesses. We've got ministries as those and all of that. What then becomes the role of government in this particular space, and also you making sure that you hold them to account? Because what you're saying is really hitting at people who are making a living. Some of them who are saying that for them, this is about their livelihoods, and others are given spaces to rent. But we are now saying they're not allowed.
No, what you are saying to me is like saying, I'm a taxi driver, which is legal, but unfortunately, I always transport people who rob banks. And when we address bank robbers, then we're saying that, we are disturbing my business. We are saying, let's be open-minded about it. We are saying that the people that give these people space, which are our people, by the way, because they are Africans, that give our brothers space to run these plazas in their yards, we are giving them opportunity to open their own plazas with the help of the brothers. It's not an independent solution. It's an inclusive solution.
Nhlanhla, thank you so much for your time, and I do hope you'll make good on your promise to send the details of the leaders that you say you were with to our producers, so we can be able to speak to them and get a sense of what they make then.
How's about we commit two things right now? How's about we commit that both us, your platform and my platform, we invite the Human Rights Commission to actually have a physical youth desk here in Soweto, so that they can be proactive with us, so that they're not only reacting. By the way, I'm not saying this because I have reservations about them. I love the Human Rights Commission.
Let's begin.
Number two. And then number two,
we're almost out of time.
Let me give you the president of the Foreign National Brothers that are running this path, so that you talk to them and you understand better what our role is versus what they are doing.
Great stuff. Let's begin then with the second point, so that we then get a sense from them to hear what they are saying. That was Soweto entrepreneur and community leader Nhlanhla Lux.